Moving
Yeah,
on to our third villain of the season, Martin is
Brianna,
really making a name for himself, you know?
I've been telling you
So
this from the beginning, Brianna. I've
I
been waiting.
know,
This is the moment of this whole conversation I've been waiting on. I've been telling you about this man, Martin. He weird,
I know
man.
it took me a minute because yeah, it took me
He
a minute to
weird, man.
kind of see how sus he was. I will say I was kind of like trying to root for him a little bit last week, but you know what? I'm
Mm.
here. Here we are. So
Man, I would have been so happy. I wouldn't have been upset at all if she got Martin right
I
up out of there
know,
last week. Oh,
I
I
know.
do not like this man.
So here's the thing. So obviously we're here to discuss their conversation at the cocktail party pre-rose ceremony. I feel as though there are two components to this conversation. Okay, first component to discuss. So the first component,
It's a
the,
lie. It's a lie.
the first component to discuss is that this man sits her down, and I feel like this kind of got overshadowed. I feel like he says, I feel as though I'm questioning, I'm wondering whether you're being disingenuous with the other guys because you're telling us all similar things about how you feel about us. Did you catch this? And if so, what were your thoughts?
I for sure caught it. That's actually the first thing I wrote under Martin. Well, first off, I wrote Martin and in parentheses, a walking red flag. That is my title for Martin.
Uh-huh.
And the first thing I put under that, questions Michelle's feelings. In all caps, I put again, because this literally happened last episode when this dude was
True.
trying to tell her that Jamie's a good guy. And like, I like perspective. And like, that's like, do not be like that person to question someone's feelings, someone who made the right decision and caught a liar in the act.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care how close of friends you were. This is what happened with Dr. Joe on Paradise and why he didn't find love, because he was team Brendan instead of team Natasha.
Mm-hmm.
So like that stuck out to me from the jump. It was like I thought we were about to shift to Martin. It was just about to be a smooth conversation, pick up on where they left off last time, where he opened up about communication, and they continue that. And he starts by saying, "You tell the other guys you like them." Like, she likes other men. That's why they're still there.
Yeah,
So it's
this
just
was
like,
one moment where I was like, he forgot the show he was on. That
I was
was
like,
one moment where I was
what
like,
are you doing? What are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
so
So
I for sure,
yeah.
that's the first thing I caught. I was like, this man really about to ruin the night. Another guy's about to ruin the night. Like, come on.
My thing was like, yeah, exactly everything you said. He's questioning her again. He's bringing up nonsensical things. My thing was like just about, I guess, the face value, taking that statement at face value. You're telling other guys similar things. There's only so many words in the English language. There's only so many ways you could tell someone you like them if you have similar feelings for them. I like you. I think you're great. I enjoy, like, there's only so many ways to communicate that. So
Yeah.
yes, her statements are going to sound similar because she has similar feelings for these guys. Like, it is what it is. You don't like it, tough. Like, I just was kind of like,
Mhm.
what do you want to get? Do you want her to invent some new words for you?
Mhm.
Like, what do you want her to
And
do?
honestly, now that I think about it, Martin really wasn't even right. Michelle is not saying the same things, because the way she's talking about other men compared to you, like you would wish
Facts.
you would wish she was saying that to you actually. So
Facts.
I don't know what you're pulling from, but I would love for Michelle to be speaking highly of me. If she's speaking highly of other men and I hear that and it sounds similar to what she's saying to me, it's like, okay, I have
It's
competition, but
like,
I'm
good.
here.
I'm doing
But I'm
something
here.
right.
I got competition, but I'm here. Like, I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
here. So oh, this man, bro. And then on top of that, he's friends with yet again another enemy of the
Another
show.
villain.
Because to go back to the cocktail party, this man talking, I mean, no, to Nate's one-on-one, he's outside talking to Martin. And Martin is over there supporting him, comforting him, rubbing his head and whatnot, like helping him through the situation. I'm like, nobody else would do that, because everyone else notices how weird his dude is acting. And like, they don't want to ruin the night. Like, Martin, bro, he checking
Martin.
off all these red flags, man. Like, and we haven't even touched on the thing that really disgusted me. Let's
get into that. So second component of the conversation, essentially, how does this go? I think they're just talking about the thing is, Martin says this was him opening up, right? Martin's over here. I guess they're just talking about their dating history, what dating has been like for them prior to the show. And Martin, he's from Miami. And he's like, he essentially says that the women in Miami are high maintenance. And so the reason why he decided to apply for the Bachelorette is because he knew it was going to be Michelle. And she's different.
Oh, classic F-boy terminology, might I say.
Boy cute.
Oh, man. Because it was weird. I was feeling really weird during this conversation because leading into it, he was like, we've done a few romantic things or whatever. He's like, but I can bring some stuff too. And she was like, yeah, I'm not hard to please. I trust you. And he was like,
that's how it started.
He was like, oh, you're not high maintenance. She was like, no, of course
his ears perked up.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, that's the thing about Miami girls. They're really high maintenance. And then Michelle's tone shifted immediately.
Changed.
Immediately. And like her facial expressions throughout that whole thing, it was like, I really thought Martin was going home right after he finished.
Her face, she said, oh, keep talking.
Yeah.
Oh, that was her face. Her face was like, oh, say more. I want you to. I dare you to.
She was giving him that laugh of like, you're stupid, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Like
that's like that parent tone when like you're telling on yourself and you don't know that you are. Or like your parent, you don't know that your parent already knows everything that you're telling them. And they're just like, oh, keep going. Because this is just adding to your punishment. That's the face that we had.
Like, what did you think was going to happen in you telling Michelle this information? I mean, you got to open up and be real. We learned a lot about Martin last night. But like, what are you doing? What do you mean? Like,
Here's my thing. The word high maintenance, let's just start there. Martin red flag, but let's zoom out a little bit. Because high maintenance, when a guy gets excited that a girl is high maintenance, what that really means, what that really translates to is,
let him know.
I can give you the bare minimum and you will be okay with it. Point blank, that's what that means. I do not have to put any effort into this relationship and you will accept it and enjoy it. You will
be taken care of to the standards that you want, but just know that I don't have to do much. I can make that happen. And no energy is required.
On top of that, just the way that Martin was talking about it, let's say the women in Miami are high maintenance. Obviously, this is being used as a negative connotation, which is a whole nother conversation. But it's like some girls really do have high expectations. Some girls like to be wined and dined. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
Let's use high maintenance as a neutral term. Some girls require more. Fine. Okay. So Martin, in order to make this judgment, the women are high maintenance, you had to have interacted with said women to come to this conclusion. So what that tells me is that he interacted with these women and got rejected because he did not have what it required to engage with them, to enjoy their presence. Because the thing about high maintenance women is they're already being maintained. They are maintained when you meet them. They're not out here just hair undone, nails undone, no lashes, they are maintained when you meet them. So they're not saying, oh, provide for me all these things that I'm requesting. They're just saying, if you want to be with me, you cannot bring my value down. You have to enhance the lifestyle that is already being maintained.
They don't need you. Myself. Yeah. They don't need you. Yeah.
High maintenance women in actuality are some of the most independent because it's
that's what I wrote in my notes.
Got these standards from?
That's what I put in my notes. I said, why is high maintenance a bad thing? Like that's I'm just like, wait.
That's what I'm saying. It should just be a neutral connotation. Like we should take away the negative connotation because it's like, yeah, okay, high maintenance. That's fine.
Just say that's not for you. There's nothing wrong with that. There's
not even
nothing
that.
wrong
Not
with
even
that.
that. Because the thing is, like I said, Martin has approached these women. He was trying to get with these women and got rejected.
Yeah.
So it's not that they're not for. It's not that it's not for him. He desperately wants to be with these women.
It's not. He can't hang. Then
he can't hang. The thing is, it's like for high maintenance women, either you get with them or you don't. That's what it is. He can't afford them, and that's a personal problem for Martin.
And Michelle was like, okay. And first, other thing, I just hate when people say the term female and that's it. He was saying that, and then Michelle said it. I think Michelle like repeated that part to like make him hear it. He didn't hear it, but and talking about that, and I love that she was like, okay, so when woman high maintenance versus male high maintenance, discuss, explain. And so it's just like,
because I mean the thing is men can be high maintenance too.
They really can.
Men like their sports cars. They like, I don't know what men like. Men can have expensive habits. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Would you care to provide any examples?
I'm not a high maintenance male, but I mean, just the finer things, mainly probably cars, property.
Not the finer things.
I'm not a high maintenance male. I'm not tapped into that community. But yeah, like
let's cut that part out.
I think yeah, that's fine. I think the whole thing that was so weird is like he was explaining this whole thing to make it seem like, oh, like I'm just saying it should be equal. But like I think in doing that, he was really just like disrespecting a community of, we'll say, women for this time. Like that's really disrespectful. Like they're, like you said, that's an independent group of people. Like they do their own thing. They don't need you. Like everyone has standards. We talk about this high standards, low. Everybody has standards. So if you want to add on and bring forth what is needed in that relationship, you can either do it or you can't. But if you can't, don't be throwing shots at me and disrespectful.
Right.
Like, so.
And don't just think just because Michelle is quote unquote low maintenance, she's gonna accept the bare minimum, because that's certainly not the case.
Exactly. And if you don't know that now,
really looking for. So Michelle's not the one.
They're still talking about, I came on the show. You were different. That's
Anytime,
why I came on the show.
That's a trigger word. That's a trigger warning. Anytime a guy says you're different, run in the opposite direction.
Because they always say you're different, and yet fail to tell you what's different about you, So, Martin. How did he get a rose, Brianna? How did he get a rose?
I wanted to say, when I was writing my notes, I wanted to be like, oh, the producers made her do it. But then the preview for next week, she's kissing this man. So I don't know if she doesn't see it. I don't know.
I also have a little theory. I feel like they're faking out something too, because it looks like they're showing that there's a guy who's acting up, and they show Kaitlyn saying like, you're an actor on TV, and then they cut to Nate. I feel like that's a fake out. I feel like that's.
I think it's a fake out too.
I feel like that's Martin.
Yeah, because when they teased that before the season even started, and we didn't know Nate, I was like, oh my gosh, this is Nate guy, like da-da-da. But now that we know him, I know number one, it's not him. And I can tell by the way he's speaking, if it were directed at him, we already know Nate's gonna handle it. So if Kaitlyn were coming at him like that, Nate would have a different tone. Right. Like, what are you talking about? He would be like, what are you talking? Like, I agree. I was looking at it again because I have YouTube TV, so I was rewinding it.
And I was like, the backgrounds look really different. I was like really observing. I was like, it's not Nate. It's somebody else.
Nate. Yeah. It's definitely not.
I feel like it's Martin.
I can see that.
Because I don't know who else it could be at this point.
Yeah.
Like, they look like they're giving Brandon a weird edit, but I think that's only because he's going really far, and like maybe Michelle might pick up on some things that are weird or something. But I think it was I don't think it was Nate or Brandon, because I think they're going like top 4. They're going all the way. I think it's Martin who. Because when he said, that's why I came on the show, you're different, that just rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, what do you mean? Like, so.
Yeah, well, we'll see.